Alright, so this is Pixel Dungeon, an Android game for your smartphone that you can play anywhere because it's on a portable device. It's a pretty cool game, so I suggest you go and download it right now, but you could wait and watch a little bit to see if you really are interested in it or not. Right off the bat, you notice that there's some pretty cool sound, which I'm going to turn down just a notch because I want you guys to be able to hear me. So on the home screen, we've got rankings, which basically just tells you where you died in any particular playthrough of the game. It gives you some statistics, like these are your character statistics when you died, items that you had on you, badges that you achieved during the playthrough, and that's it. I mean, this is my highest ranking. You get the Amulet of Yeador, which is the point of the game. Go all the way to the bottom of the dungeon and then make it all the way back out. So just ranks your plays, I guess. Here we've got some badges, so achievements that you can achieve. I've beaten the game twice and I still haven't even gotten all of them. It's you can go to an online forum and find out what you need to do, I guess. But even if you did that, this is such a difficult game that it would be a challenge in itself to get these unseen badges here, these hidden badges. Even knowing what you had to do to get them, it would still be difficult. So about the game, this is just a little credit section. Watabu, I think that's how you say it, is the guy who made the game, or the girl. I mean, who knows? Alrighty, so let's get to some gameplay. Before we actually get to the actual game, we have to select a hero. So here we see 4 different heroes. We got a warrior, a mage, a rogue, and a huntress. Now the huntress class you actually don't unlock until, I believe, until you defeat a certain final boss. I believe you have to get to a certain level. Also, this little trophy in the middle will bring up a list of challenges that you can complete. You don't get that until you beat the game. So any of these is going to make the game stupidly hard, so I'm not going to activate any of those, but I'm going to play through as a warrior character. Now, when you double click a character, it will show you some basic information about the character. So warrior, for instance, has 11 points of strength to start. He gets a unique short sword, which can be forged into another weapon to create a super weapon. I don't know, but it makes your weapon a little bit better when you do that. So basically you got a couple base abilities there. Now this, your mastery, your current class is warrior if you play through as a warrior, but when you master the class, you will turn into either a gladiator or a berserker, which will basically just give you a couple extra skills. I mean, each class has its own skill set, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it'll just allow you to progress through the game more easily. So I'm gonna go ahead here and play through as the warrior class. I'm gonna start a new game. Yes, start a new game. Alrighty, so here we go. The dungeon lies right beneath the city. Its upper levels actually constitute the city's sewer system, being nominally a part of the city. These levels are not that dangerous. No one will call it a safe place, but at least you won't need to deal with evil magic here. So that's pretty cool, kind of foreshadowing a little bit of evil magic in the future. It's point and click to move, or I guess touch to move. It's not point and click. It would be if it was on a desktop computer. This is the sign, just says don't overestimate your strength. Use weapons and armor you can handle. Every depth or every new level has a little bit of information, kind of like a little helpful tip. So before I actually go through and start playing the game, I'm just going to explain the user interface a little bit here. So the top left corner, you have a little icon of your character. And you click that, and it'll just give you stats and buffs. The buffs are basically status ailments, so if my guy gets poisoned here, it'll pop up in here and it'll say you're poisoned, or if he's hungry, it'll say you're hungry. Or I mean, very rarely you get an actual buff that helps you and you're like, wow, that's nice, but very rarely does that happen. Also, you have your little red health bar there. Top left, we have the little staircase icon. Next to that is a 1 because I'm on depth 1, level 1 basically, and then next to that is a little key icon, kind of looks like a key there, with a 0 next to it because I have 0 keys. I can go into my inventory down here, and click on my keyring. And if I go into the keyring, it actually shows that I have 0 keys, which makes sense because I haven't even played the game yet, so that makes pretty good sense to me. Also up here in the top right, we have some settings, and I'm just going to come down here and turn my second quick slot on. And as you can see, it just kind of turns on that second slot so you can have faster access to items. Down here in the bottom left, the first thing, the yellow words, that's a log, so it doesn't show that I opened a door or anything, but as you perform actions and fight monsters, that log will actually kind of keep track of what you've done the last couple moves. So if you close out of the game and autosave and come back to it later, you can kind of see what the last 3 or 4 moves have been. So the very bottom left here, we have a little clock. That makes us wait. There's a couple of dots above my head indicating that I have skipped a turn. The magnifying glass will search the immediate squares directly around me. That takes up quite a few turns, but it's useful to find hidden doors and traps. If you think there's a trap in the room right in front of you, you might want to use that to detect it. Or you can use this question mark, which basically just allows you to examine something. Like here we have a closed door. There's nothing here, it's just a closed door. You can click around, you click the sign. You can't read the text from here. It's convenient. So anyway, bottom right, we've got a backpack. Got a couple things in the backpack. We have our weapon slot. I'm carrying a short sword. And armor slot, carrying some cloth armor. I think a cool thing about this game too is if I unequip this, it actually shows it on the character, which not a lot of games do that. So that's pretty cool because you could actually have different armor and it keeps the game feeling kind of fresh. Like, you know, you got some new armor, you get to see it being worn. Got some darts. I could throw a dart. Boom. If I use my quick slot, I could throw a dart a lot faster. That's why we have the quick slots. Pick those back up. Finally, we have this ration of food. You eat that to recover. If you become hungry, that will satiate your hunger there. Finally, we have this Tome of Mastery. Now, this Tome of Mastery is something that you collect on a lower level. It's sort of a perk once you get about halfway through the game. Not really halfway, a little less than halfway. You'll uncover this perk, and if you die after you find it, you'll start out with it in the next game. So that's really useful because this game's extremely difficult, and you'll find yourself dying so many times that by the time you get to the halfway point and you die, you'll be so miserable that you wouldn't even want to play again. But then it's like, I got this Tome of Mastery. It makes things a little bit easier, but I'm not going to use it because I want to show you just the vanilla playthrough here, the original gameplay. So now I'm just walking around and come to a room. Here's a chasm. Oh, by the way, pinch the screen to zoom in and zoom out. So here's a chasm room, and you could actually jump down the chasm and it will bring you to the level below you, which will damage you considerably, but if you're backed into a corner and you need to jump, I mean, sometimes you just gotta jump. Or if you just want to traverse quickly to another floor, you can do that as well. The game is procedurally generated, so the levels are always changing. I mean, not currently changing, but every time a level is loaded, it will be new, so it keeps the gameplay really fresh. At some point, I'm going to run into an enemy here because they're around here somewhere. There we have a treasure chest. Get some golden coins. It's pretty sweet. You can spend those later on when I find a shop. I think I'm actually going to do a walkthrough on this game later because honestly, my phone doesn't have enough memory to record a full playthrough, and honestly, I don't really feel like sitting here talking that long. But it is a really cool game, and I enjoy playing it, so why not just do a playthrough? I mean, I got nothing better to do, really. Here I'm killing some rats. The characters in the game, like the enemy characters, are pretty cool. I mean, the art style is cool, is what I mean to say. But basically, you're fighting a lot of cute little pixelated graphics, and It's fun to look at, but you're fighting like rats and crabs on later levels. You'll fight some crabs and like these little gnoll scout things, and they basically look cute. It's a cute game. If you're here for like blood and gore, you're not really gonna find it. Oh, by the way, if you try to exit, one does not simply leave Pixel Dungeon, so don't try to escape right away. Here's a useful feature. There's pretty decent pathfinding in the game. So if I want to, say, just come all the way over here, all I have to do is click, and it'll bring me there. Any enemies I encounter along the way will stop me, and I can proceed to fight them. And then press that arrow in the upper right-hand corner, and it will bring me to my destination that I previously selected. Now I encountered the hungry buff. So come here, buffs. I'm hungry, apparently. But you don't take damage when you're hungry. You take damage when you're starving. So another buff from now, I'll probably be starving. And at that point, I'll use this food right here to recover or satiate my hunger and recover from starvation. Here you can see I have some scrolls, which are these paper-looking things. Right there we got a scroll. The purple highlight means it hasn't been identified yet, so unless I have a potion to identify it with, there's no real way to know what it does. You kind of just gotta take a leap of faith. Usually scrolls are good though, so this one upgrades an item. I'm gonna upgrade my sword. Look at that, upgraded my short sword there, and things are looking good. Grab a potion here. Potions, everything you pick up is unidentified. Here we have an NPC. As you progress through the game, you'll encounter some NPCs, and they'll all want you to do like a little task for them. The quests aren't really that complex. In fact, they're not complex at all. Basically, this one I have to slay a particular rat, and when I do, that ghost will give me something. Now, I'm not going to play through this to level 3. I'm just going to collect a few basic items and go over them. I think you probably got a good feel for what the game is about so far. I just stepped on a poison trap, actually. And I am poisoned, so you see up there in the top left that I have the poison buff. I'm going to wait for this rat to come, and I'm going to hide behind a door, because when you surprise an enemy, you actually get a lot higher chance for a critical hit like I just did there. There is the gateway to the next level. There's a gnoll scout. I'm going to use my... I thought I activated my second quick slot here. I'm going to go to settings and activate my second quick slot, even though I'm not using it. Well, let's just say I want to use this. I'll put that in my second quick slot just in case. Defeat this gnoll scout here. But anyway, this is the game right here. I mean, it's pretty fun. I think I'm going to do a walkthrough on it. Leveled up there. It's just procedurally generated levels, cute enemies, some pretty basic quests. Fun game, easy to pick up, easy to put down. Play whenever you want, always engaging. I've had it for probably 2 years, and I still pick it up and play it from time to time. So anyway, that's it. That's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed watching for a little bit, and I'll probably post a walkthrough as well. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.